Don't be scared, but I'm just warning you. You're about to meet a witch. You're going for a walk one evening, minding your own business. You step into twilight in what appears to be a wasteland. That's when you see her, a woman standing alone, barefoot on scorched ground. In her left hand, she holds a golden crescent-shaped blade, and you immediately feel unsettled and maybe even a bit threatened. Welcome, my friend. You've wandered into the art bog again. I'm your host, Bogdan Migulski. In the other hand, the woman is holding a rod, which she drags along the ground, scratching a glowing circle into the dirt around her. Before the woman, smoke rises steadily toward the sky. Near her, blackbirds gather, about 7 of them. The birds are perched at intervals on rocks and burnt earth. One bird on the left, just behind the woman, rests on what appears to be a half-buried human skull. Subtle, but once you see it, it's unmistakable. It's a small detail, but one that anchors the scene in mortality. A quiet reminder that this ritual deals with forces beyond the decorative. Life, death, maybe even judgment. Inside that glowing boundary, she stands, unblinking, focused, a woman not to be messed with. The title of this artwork is The Magic Circle by John William Waterhouse, painted in 1886. This painting's alive with symbols, story, and a lot of mystery on the canvas and behind it. The setting is stark and otherworldly, part desert, part scorched ritual ground. A lone spellcaster performs a rite in a light-colored dress, belted at the waist with a wide brown sash. Her hair is wild. Her feet are bare. She holds a rod in one hand and that ominous curved blade in the other. The rod is active, carving the circle. The blade hangs still, yet glints like a warning. In front of her, a burning vessel smolders, what we'd probably call a cauldron, likely filled with herbs or incense. We know this not just from the smoke, but from preparatory studies where Waterhouse included poppy flowers and other ritual plants near the same vessel. Those sketches suggest she's not just calling down power, she's offering something in return. It's ritual, sure, but it's also an exchange, a sacrifice. Beyond that line, the world seems dim and empty, but inside, the air is still, charged. As you look closer, Waterhouse's intention becomes clearer. This woman isn't passive or tragic like many of his mythic figures, and we don't get a name for her. She's not Circe or Medea. Waterhouse leaves her deliberately unnamed. She isn't one story. She's the idea of a sorceress, distilled and silent, and she's working. Her posture leans into the rod's motion. Her expression is set, clear, unsentimental. In old Hermetic or alchemy traditions, ravens stand for change, hidden knowledge, and wisdom's darker edge. The number 7 carries its own weight, 7 classical planets, 7 alchemical stages, 7 days of creation, not a random arrangement. The smoke rising straight up functions as a kind of visual axis, linking ground to sky. In mystical terms, an axis mundi, the spiritual spine of the world. Her dress adds another layer, simple in tone but gathered at the waist, hinting at restraint and order amid the surrounding chaos. There is no excessive ornament, just a grounded sense of purpose. Still, if you look closely, there may be faint figures or patterns along the hem, possibly Greek warriors or even Medusa, warder of evil. If that's the case, and some scholars have suggested it is, then the dress, and by extension, the circle, functions not just as part of a ritual, but as a kind of shield, a boundary, guarding, not flaunting. The curved blade may link her to Hecate, goddess of the moon, dark magic, and crossroads. Combined with the rod, the tools form a full symbolic pair, left and right, moon and earth, passive and active forces in nature. And also, they are in balance. From here, the painting's purpose starts to take shape. This woman isn't reacting to fate, she's shaping it. That's unusual in Victorian art, and especially in Waterhouse's work. Most of the women in his paintings are tragic figures. Ophelia, the Lady of Shalott, stuck in beauty and doom. But this figure breaks the pattern. She's focused, composed. Everything around her, the blade, the smoke, feels deliberate. Nothing is decorative. Each element supports the mood of the moment. They're part of a controlled performance. What matters most? Waterhouse doesn't reduce her to cliché. She isn't seductive or sinister. She's a doer, a builder of moments. And maybe that's the key. This isn't just about power. There's a quiet transaction happening here. The smoke, the plants, the focused gesture of the rod, they all point to something being given. This is a kind of sacrifice, not dramatic but real, an offering made in hopes of something returned, whether it's favor, protection, or knowledge. She knows there's a cost. The mood is solemn, not staged, measured, not adorned. Some critics have called the painting mystical or too exotic. That label often follows Victorian works with unfamiliar settings. And yes, there's mystery here. The landscape is hazy, almost dreamlike. But the energy is inward. The strength is pointed, not stylized. To understand how this scene came to be, we look back a few years. Waterhouse began sketching this subject around 1880 or 1881. He returned to it in 1886, just after becoming an associate at the Royal Academy, a prestigious British institution founded in 1768 to promote the arts through exhibitions, education, and public engagement. That year, the Magic Circle debuted at the Royal Academy's summer exhibition. Tate Gallery snapped it up right away. Back then, it was still called the National Gallery of British Art. They paid £650, using money from something called the Chantry Bequest. That was more than a sale, it was a public endorsement. Waterhouse also created a smaller oil version and a preparatory study, proof that this wasn't a passing idea, it was a fully developed vision. This was also part of a themed stretch in his work. It followed two other mystical scenes, consulting the oracle and Saint Eulalia. But the magic circle stands apart. In those earlier paintings, the women experience magic. Here, she directs it. Some have speculated, though without firm proof, that Waterhouse was influenced by the rising interest in secret societies like the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, active in London during the 1880s. Whether or not he was involved, the painting clearly lines up with the occult revival of the time: spiritualism, theosophy, and ancient rites. This wasn't fantasy, it was something real, running through Victorian culture, and Waterhouse painted it like he meant it. Even the technique serves the mood. The light falls like a soft spotlight on the woman, while the rest of the scene fades into mist. It's quiet but focused. It isolates her in a moment of intent. The whole composition has a ritual rhythm, balanced, calm, intentional. You feel the precision, not just magical, but visual. If you ever find yourself in London, you can see the magic circle in person at Tate Britain. It's worth a visit. The detail, the light, the gravity of her stance, it all sharpens in the room. If you felt the quiet power of this woman's circle, the rising smoke, the blade, the birds, give this video a like. Subscribe for more paintings where myth, mystery, and human presence meet. There's more to come.